Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. We're on the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 22nd of October. Pakistan committed to ensuring peace in Afghanistan, says Nawaz Sharif. Foundation stone laid for India's southern Andhra Pradesh new capital Amaravati. And India celebrates Dussehra as festival of Navratri comes to an end. And now for all the details. The United States will sell 8 F-16 fighter jets to Pakistan despite Washington's reservations about Pakistan's growing nuclear arsenal, as per reports from Islamabad. This comes as Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is in the US for a 4-day visit. A report.
Nuclear safety and a range of other issues, including Pakistan's ties with the Afghan Taliban and Kashmir issue, featured in the discussions as Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif met US President Barack Obama on Thursday. The meeting took place at a time when Washington had repeatedly raised questions on Islamabad's commitment to fight the Afghan Taliban in its soil. Islamabad's ties with the Taliban and support for terror groups that target India and the United States had been for long a concern for Washington. US and Afghanistan have accused Pakistan of harboring and nurturing Afghan Taliban, allowing them to launch attacks in the country. Prime Minister Sharif had on Wednesday met US Secretary of State John Kerry in the capital. He also met members of US Senate Foreign Relations Committee and members of the Congress in Capitol Hill, where he reasserted Pakistan's commitment to restoring peace in Afghanistan. The US, which announced an extension of its troops' presence in Afghanistan last week, sees Pakistan as key player in the region. The Obama administration has also decided to sell 8 F-16 fighter jets to Pakistan, subject to clearance from the Congress. This is in addition to the $1 billion worth military hardware which was approved in April.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday laid the foundation stone for Amaravati, the new capital city of southern Andhra Pradesh province. It had been sharing Hyderabad as a capital with Telangana, which was bifurcated last year.
The construction work of the ultra-modern metro city officially began on Thursday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of the new capital city in the presence of Provincial Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu. The mega event witnessed the presence of thousands of people, including foreign dignitaries.
सरकार बनने के इतने कम समय में चंद्रबाबू ने जिस गति से इस काम को हाथ में लिया और इसको दुनिया में जो कुछ श्रेष्ठ है उसको समाहित करने का प्रयास किया, इसलिए मैं चंद्रबाबू जी को हृदय से बहुत-बहुत अभिनंदन देता हूं.
Amaravati will replace Hyderabad as the new capital of Andhra Pradesh once the construction is completed. The tech hub, which was the capital of the undivided Andhra Pradesh for nearly 5 decades, will from then be the capital of newly formed Telangana. The master plan of the city, designed by a Singapore firm, is spread over 54,000 acres. The construction is carried out with assistance from Japan. Amaravati in Guntur district holds a historical, mythical and cultural significance as it was once the seat of power of Satvahana rulers. The provincial government is planning to develop it as a smart city, while neighbouring areas like Rajamundry will be developed as a tourist destination.
To some news from Afghanistan, where the Afghan army has claimed that they have cleared southern Helmand province of the Taliban. The province, which has been once the stronghold of the insurgents, has been witnessing fierce fighting for the past couple of days.
Afghan army on Thursday stepped up its presence in Helmand following clashes with the Taliban. Thousands of additional troops have been rushed into the area after the Taliban launched a late-night attack on Tuesday. The Afghan army, which began counter-operation, had cleared most of the areas of the attackers on Wednesday. Dozens of Taliban fighters have also been killed in the operation.
کې جنگ نشته دی د باباجي په سیمه کې جنگ دی ولته خز موږ انډیوالان دي موږ سره تماس لرو خو پرمختګ دی دشمن ته تلفات مړول دی او کوم داسې سخت مشکل موږ ته نه تر اوسه مندخ شوی. موږ خالي په دې او ځای په امنیت باندې ولاړ یو چې هغو لاندې مخنی امنیت عملیات شروع کړي. موږ دلته ولاړ یو، هغو چې زموږ ساحې ته لاندې مخنه راورسېږي، نو زموږ هم په دې استقامت باندې زموږ هم ورسره حرکت دی.
As the standoff is continuing, the locals are facing the heat. Many said it is becoming increasingly dangerous to venture out.
دولت سمه دا غوښتنه ده چې وروره زموږ د محل مکتبونه ګرده تړلي دي، باید د امنیت راولي چې دا یو کوچني شاګردان خپل مکتب ووایي، خپل درس ووایي، معلمان په کورو کې ناست دي، دوام تللی نشي، باید امنیت برقرار شي.
The Taliban attack on Helmand came weeks after the insurgents unleashed a similar operation in Kunduz, briefly taking control of the province. They had also launched attacks on northern Faryab and Ghazni, near the Afghan capital Kabul, stretching the battered Afghan army to its limits. Helmand, a traditional stronghold of the Taliban, is one of the world's biggest centers of opium cultivation, which is believed to be the main funding source of the militia.
Hundreds of Shia Muslims in Afghanistan marked Ashura with self-flagellation, which is believed to purify oneself from their sins. Armed with metal blades hanging from chains, the participants inflict self-punishment by whipping and cutting themselves as they mourn the death of Imam Hussain. He was killed during Battle of Kerbala in 680 AD in modern-day Iraq. Ashura is one of the major fixtures of the Islamic calendar. Shias make up about 7 to 20% of the Afghan population.
ما با عشق ابو عبدالله حسین و حضرت ابوالفضل عباس زنجیر میزنیم و هیچ کدوم درد حس چیزی نمیکنه. اگر یک دست خود آدم قد چاقو ببره در یک مو خوب نمیشه، اما زخم تیغدار زدن تا دیگر خوب میشه. هیچ کدوم چیزی نیست، عشق است فقط. ما به خاطر عشق زنجیر میزنیم، تیغ میزنیم.
Meanwhile, in Pakistan, security has been stepped up across the country to avoid any untoward incidents during Ashura procession. Large contingents of police and paramilitary troops have been deployed in cities like Karachi, Lahore and Islamabad. Drone camera and CCTV cameras have also been installed in the routes of the procession. The federal government has also declared a two-day national holiday on Friday and Saturday. The Ashura processions by Shia Muslims in Pakistan have been regularly targeted by Sunni extremist groups in the past. In 2013, at least 8 people were killed in violence after an Ashura procession came under attack in Rawalpindi. Indian capital New Delhi on Thursday marked the city's first car-free day. The move was taken to encourage people to take up public transport with an aim to curb the air pollution.
Hundreds of people took part in a cycle rally that was held to mark the city's first car-free day. The Delhi government urged people to voluntarily refrain from using personal cars and two-wheelers from 7 a.m. to 12 noon at the stretch between the iconic Red Fort and near Supreme Court. The initiative was welcomed by the residents.
इसको सक्सेसफुल बनाने के लिए गवर्नमेंट से ज़्यादा कॉमन पब्लिक का रोल है, जिसको अपने हिचक छोड़ के साइकिल को अपनाना चाहिए.
दिख रहा है जोश पूरी दिल्ली में, आप देख सकते हैं इतने सारे लोग साइकिलों पे आए हैं, रंग बिरंगे कपड़े पहनकर आए हैं. बहुत ज़्यादा जोश है. मेरे को लगता है बहुत बड़ी शुरुआत है और दिल्ली एक रोल मॉडल बन सकता है ट्रांसपोर्ट के क्षेत्र में.
The awareness campaign comes as a welcome move at a time when increasing number of cars is taking Delhi roads, aggravating traffic congestion. The effort is also likely to help in tackling rising pollution that the city has been witnessing in recent times. Now on, Delhi will observe a car-free day on 22nd day of every month. Earlier, similar initiatives were launched in cities like Hyderabad and Gurgaon.
Indian economy is less exposed to external risks, international ratings agency Moodys has said. It also predicts an over 7% growth for the country in the current fiscal year, which will be the best growth rate among the G20 economies. This is mainly due to lower oil prices that will reinforce gradual growth-enhancing reforms. The rating agency, in a report focusing on Turkey, Brazil, South Africa, India and Indonesia, says that the country is less exposed to external shocks and the positive rating outlook reflects resilient growth and reforms momentum. People across India celebrated the festival of Dussehra with much enthusiasm. The day marked the culmination of Navratri festival or festival of 9 nights.
Hindu devotees across India visited temples to offer special prayers for their loved ones. It is believed that during this time, prayers are answered by Goddess Durga if offered with the true heart. The day is celebrated as Vijayadashmi, which marks the victory of Goddess Durga over evil buffalo demon Mahishasura and epitomizes the victory of good over evil.
সর্বজাতি সব জাতির লোকেরা জাতি ধর্ম নির্বিশেষে সবাই আমরা দুর্গাপূজা দেখতে আসি সবাই মিলেই দেখি
Navratri is one of the biggest Hindu festivals celebrated across India in different forms and names, where temples are beautifully decorated and a sense of mysticism is in the air. Many people observe fasts and some restrict their diet to fruit and vegetables during the festival. Travelers in western Surat city celebrated the occasion in a unique way by getting tattoos of various deities on their body.
चाहे दशहरा हो या दुर्गा पूजा हो, विजय हमेशा माँ की ही होती है, तो इसीलिए मैंने अभी ये माता जी का टैटू करवाया है.
The day is also marked as Dussehra, commemorating the triumph of Lord Ram over Ravan, marking the victory of good over evil. One of the biggest attractions of festival is its culmination with the burning of giant-sized effigies of 10-headed demon king Ravan. The festival witnessed huge community participation across the country.
Designers in India's northeast came together to showcase the traditional outfits of the region. The event aimed to promote the exquisite handloom sector and local weavers. Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Pakistan committed to ensuring peace in Afghanistan, says Nawaz Sharif. Foundation stone laid for India's southern Andhra Pradesh's new capital, Amaravati. And India celebrates Dussehra as festival of Navratri comes to an end. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.